Welcome back, YouTube, and hello! It is another episode of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. A quick recap. As you can see by this little screen here, we finished Chapter 1 last time. And Chapter 1 was mainly a basic introduction into the plot of the story. So, we know there's something going on behind the scenes, and we know that our field study is eerily similar, as they said, to bracer work. Now, bracer work is... Bracers are a group of people that have a goal of protecting civilians and believe in the supporting gauntlet of their organization. That means they go around and complete quests, helping out the locals of the whatever country they are in. So they will travel around, take out monsters giving problems, help people find things, but they will not involve themselves directly, important word, directly, with political matters. So they tend to stay out of those types of things, unless it has to do specifically with the protection of civilians. Anyway, so the previous games, the main characters are up-and-coming bracers. So you get a lot of the idea of what bracers do and everything through that. It's not too complicated. They're just good adventurers that go and aren't murder hobos that just go and help people and do quests and move up in the ranks and uncover dubious plots. In the previous game, the previous games, the main characters ran into a reoccurring support character called Olivier Lenheim. Now, I would give you background on Olivier Lenheim, but personally, I think that it actually is really cool having that as a surprise reveal to the Trails of Cold Steel arc. That is part of why I decided to begin with the Trails of Cold Steel arc instead of the Trails in the Sky arc. Simply because there's a lot of things that, yes, when you find out about it in the Trails of Cold Steel arc, don't exactly carry as much of a surprising weight in the Trails in the Sky arc, but I feel like it just is a lot more impactful through this story arc. And there are a lot of other things. I think the Trails in the Sky arc is really good as like a prequel, kind of like how Star Wars is set up. This is the original trilogy, and the Trails in the Sky is the prequel trilogy, where you get a lot more of the background, and it uncovers a lot of the other things going on in the background that let you kind of connect the dots. So we are doing things out of order, but there is a reason behind it. Anyway, I feel like I have talked your ear off at a title screen for long enough, so let's go ahead and continue with the story. Five is May. May, yes. May 22nd, Saturday, Septium calendar 1204. Trista.
Late May. The lino flowers that painted Trista's spring fields had faded, replaced by lush greenery and a refreshing breeze. With the trials of last month's field study behind us, we found ourselves caught up once more in the bustle of school life.
Ooh, it's a bike!
Both our combat training and academic studies continued to become more and more demanding. But May also heralded the beginning of specialist classes more befitting a military academy.
Ah, there we go. Second period, military science.
The Orbital Revolution 50 years ago changed the way wars were fought forever. There are a number of reasons for this fundamental change, but 4 factors in particular that I would argue to be the most important. The first is the invention of orbital guns, cannons, and other weaponry. The increased accuracy of these weapons, as well as their ease of maintenance and manufacture, instantly rendered all other firearms obsolete. The second factor is the associated mechanization of the military. Orbital technology led to the formation of armored divisions made up of tanks and armored cars. The impact this new kind of tactical unit had on the battlefield, with its enhanced offense, defense, and mobility, cannot be overstated. The third factor is the invention of airships. Warships that rely on the gravity manipulation ability of a flight field to remain in the air simply did not exist before the revolution. The sudden addition of a whole new dimension to war, the sky, made countless new strategies viable that were previously unimaginable. And the last factor is the creation of an entirely new practical science, which may be the biggest, most important change of all. Without orbital technology, such a concept would scarcely even have been conceivable, but now we'd be virtually crippled without it. Reen Schwarzer, can you tell the class what that new scientific breakthrough was?
Yes, I can, after I consult my handy-dandy guide. Something only possible after the Orbital Revolution, which revolutionized warfare. That would have to be orbital arts, orbital communication, transport of cargo via train. Yeah, I gotta consult my handy-dandy guide here for a moment. Orbital communications is the answer. Correct. The answer is orbital communications, a form of wireless communication technology based on formless transmissions through orbital waves. This allows officers on the battlefield to obtain pertinent information in real time, leading to precise, accurate troop movements. Of course, countermeasures have also been invented, such as wiretapping and jamming, to partially limit its benefits. But nonetheless, phew, I got it right. Well done. This is all pretty high-level stuff. I mean, I know it's the basics, but I've never heard it gone into in such detail before. Man, Laura looks so sad that she's sitting so far away from Reen. Yeah, we're going to have to work really hard to keep up. AP increased by 1 because we answered the question correctly. Oh yeah. 5th period, gender-divided lessons. Girls' nutritional science / cooking.
Why did Lady Laura have to be placed in a class like that? I was truly looking forward to studying alongside her.
Is that girl next to her not the one who scored the highest on the entrance exam?
I believe so, though I also hear she's a mere commoner.
There's something about that silvered hair girl that I find oddly soothing. I wonder if she'd let me stroke her hair if I were to ask nicely.
That's quite enough idle chatter. We are members of Class 1. We are above such droll behavior. As well, we cannot allow ourselves to be bettered by that rabble, even in something as insignificant as the culinary arts.
Of course not.
I'm so accustomed to our chef doing all of the cooking, however, that I must admit I'm finding this all rather challenging. Could they make it a little less obvious they're talking about us? I mean, seriously.
It stands to reason they'd be curious about our class. It's hard to blame them for that, at least.
Whisking furiously.
I think you've whisked that plenty already.
Boys, orbital computer primer. I think they switch. Like the girls do the one, the boys do the other, and then they switch. So, Yeah, I think.
I feel like I'm finally getting the hang of using an orbital computer.
Likewise. I was lost at first, but it's slowly beginning to make more sense.
Well, it is cutting-edge technology here in Erebonia, so I think most people are confused until they've gotten used to it. Machias and Eustace both picked it up surprisingly quickly, though.
Yeah, but academics are their thing. And I'm pretty sure Machias has been interested in computers for a while, too.
Eustace also seems to get the hang of things far quicker than most people, even if he's not interested in them at all. Which probably just adds insult to injury for Machias.
I'll bet. I hear they were really butting heads during last month's field study.
They were. At one point, things almost took a violent turn.
Oh my.
We were able to hold them back, but I don't think we could have kept them under control for long if Instructor Sarah hadn't arrived.
We really need to do something about them, but I have no idea what.
Those are really big keys on that keyboard. Like, really big.
I don't either, but you're right. This has gone on for way too long as it is. It needs to stop.
Rein Schwarzer.
Huh? Isn't he from Class 1?
Patrick, is it?
That is correct. My full name is Patrick T. Higharms. I don't believe I need to say anything more than that.
What?
So, you're from the Higharms family?
Are they prestigious?
About as prestigious as they come. The Higharmses are one of the 4 great houses. Though they're slightly lower in rank than the Albareas. I'm sorry. I meant no offense.
It doesn't matter. I didn't come here to talk to commoners or foreigners.
Jeez. This guy's a peach, isn't he?
I came to bring gladsome tidings to you, Rein Schwarzer. I am generously extending you welcome to make use of the accommodations on the 3rd floor of the Student Union building.
You mean...
The 3rd floor?
That's where the Nobles Salon is, right?
Your father may be a mere baron, but that still makes you a noble. And though you've had the misfortune of sharing a class with this riffraff, I have decided to use my good name as a member of the Higharms family to afford you the privilege of joining us. I do hope you appreciate it.
Not really. No, not this time.
Well... How can I turn him down politely?
Ah, good job, Rein.
This hardly strikes me as the best place to be recruiting new members.
Eustace.
Thanks for the save, bro.
Eustace Albarea?
I wasn't aware the 3rd son of the Higharms family counted playing factions among his hobbies.
Wow.
If you wished for company in the salon, should you not have come to me first?
Oh.
You? You've been invited countless times. You simply choose not to come. Despite there being no shortage of second years practically begging for your company.
I have no interest.
Suit yourself then. But you, Schwarzer, make sure you think long and hard about this. If you care about your future, you need to start thinking about the connections you're making and the sides you're taking.
Eh. I'm sure it'll all work out.
He's certainly not shy.
No, he's not. I wasn't sure how to turn him down either. Thanks for stepping in, Eustace.
I wasn't trying to help you.
Ah, bullshit.
But I did cause you some trouble during last month's field study, so... No, that's all.
Last month's field study? Is he...
Yeah, I think he means the run-in we had with the provincial army.
Ah, so he feels partially responsible for his family's actions then. He must have been looking for a way to apologize to you.
I guess he has a nice side after all.
Things will all make sense as to why Machias doesn't like nobles in the future. I think it's in the somewhat far future though, so bear with it for a while. Good work today, class! Tomorrow's a free day, so take it easy. You've earned it. Just remember, next Wednesday is your second practical exam. I was wondering when she'd bring that up. Will you be announcing the details of our next field study trip on Wednesday also? Of course! You'll be headed out next weekend. I'm sure you can hardly wait. I, for one, very much look forward to it. Oh, and one more thing. Your midterms are scheduled for the middle of next month, so just file that away, if you would. Midterms? Sounds irritating. So we finally get to put all the knowledge we've gained throughout the past few months to the test. Quite literally. Yes, and that's a good thing. You need to be thinking about your academic studies. School can't just be about military strategy, you know? Because if it is, I'm going to get an earful from Vice Principal Heinrich again. Is that all you care about? Can we ask you if there's anything we don't understand? Not if you care about the answer being right. I'm a combat instructor. Book smarts like that are well beyond me. Anyway, that's all for homeroom. Machias, if you'd please. Yes, instructor.
All rise. Bow.
I really like that tradition in Japan where all of the students, one person in the class guides all the students to stand up and then give a respectful bow to their instructor as the instructor leaves the room. So like they stand up, they bow, the instructor then leaves, and then once they have left the room, the students can relax and, go about whatever their business is. I just like the show of respect is something that I really wish we did over in the Western hemisphere of the globe. I think it would go a long way towards teaching kids respect at younger ages, and we definitely need that. But yeah, that's the thing that fascinates me most about Japanese culture is how much of that just automatic, just wired in respect is still a part of their culture. It's crazy. Anyway, continuing on.
Well, I'll see you later, Reen.
Later.
Oh, are you two going to club activities today?
Yeah, I am. Did you want to have dinner together later?
Or, I don't know if the instructor leaves or if they return the bow and then they can relax. But, semantics.
We've been eating in the cafeteria an awful lot lately, so maybe we could go to the cafe in Trista today for a change of scenery?
Sounds good to me. You want to just meet up in the entrance hall later?
Sure.
See you then.
Oh, hi, Elisa. Are you off to club practice too?
Oh, no, not today.
Question
What
mark?
is it? Is there something you wanted to ask me?
It's nothing. I'll see you later.
I think I'm going to start calling those confuddlefied. Those little bubbles with the scribbles in them. We'll start calling it confuddlefied. That's what we're going with. And this is not up for debate.
What was that all about?
Did you do something else to upset her?
Before I answer that question, can I just ask Laura, why are you standing through your chair? I rephrase my question. How are you standing through your chair? And is that uncomfortable? Just a question.
Not that I'm aware of. Although, I suppose it's possible I did something wrong without even realizing it. Knowing her.
I was speaking in jest, I assure you. Are you planning on going into the old schoolhouse again tomorrow?
Yeah. The principal did ask me to keep an eye on it, so I thought I'd make time for a quick look inside.
All right. Please let me know when you're planning to begin the expedition, if you would.
Of course.
I have club activities tomorrow, but as far as I'm concerned, the old schoolhouse takes priority.
Say no more. I will happily have you along, Laura.
Thanks. I'll let you know.
Excellent. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Didn't you put your hand through the desk? Like, are you a ghost?
You're in the chess club, aren't you, Machias? Or are you planning on studying in the library?
Since when was it any of your business what I choose to do after class?
Oh no, I'm a noble now, so things aren't gonna be good.
No, I just...
That.
Have I done something to upset you?
Not especially. It's actually my fault for being deceived so easily in the first place.
Exclamation.
Oh. Let's just say I haven't got a drop of noble blood in my veins. So I guess we're all on equal standing here. I'm really sorry. I wasn't trying to deceive you. I just...
Save your breath. Whether you're a noble or not is beside the point. The bottom line is you lied to me, and I simply cannot trust those who lie.
I mean, it's at least somewhat understandable as to where he's coming from with that one.
That's all there is to it.
Oh?
I'm sorry.
Oh, please, think nothing of it.
Oh, am I intruding?
Oh, no, not at all. Did you need something?
I accidentally left one of my textbooks in my desk, so I came back to fetch it. Ah, here it is.
How did you grab it? All you did was lean over.
What subject?
Take a look.
Intermediate mathematics for dummies.
Studying hard as always, I see. Except, wait, intermediate? Isn't that part of the Sunday school curriculum? Seems a bit basic for you.
Oh, it's not for me. I promised to help Fee with her math studies. I found this at a bookshop in town and thought it might be of some use to her.
Ah, okay.
Which reminds me, I should really be going. I'm sure she's waiting for me by now. I'll see you later, Reen.
Take care.
And don't worry.
Huh?
I'm sure Machias doesn't hate you or anything. If you can find some way of making him realize how you feel, I'm sure he'll understand. It's just getting through to him that might be tough.
Yeah.
That.
I just have to keep at it. If Emma believes I can make it work, then I'll believe it too. I should probably also get going. Maybe I'll wander around the academy grounds for a while before returning to the dorm.
Nihon Falcom's music tracks are so amazing. Right, so what is there for us to do now? Old schoolhouse. We will go to the old schoolhouse real quick after we figure out what's going on here. She even has the gall to call herself Elisa R. Who does she think she is? Or could she be hiding something? Makes matters worse, he's a natural at lacrosse. He's only a beginner, and yet she's already on par with me. Me! I simply cannot stand for her. I see. How truly fascinating. First, Mr. Sublime, how would you feel about introducing me to her? It would be a pleasure to lay eyes upon this commoner of golden radiance. Vincent, now is not the time to think of flirting with the enemy. My beloved sister burns with such determination that even the noblest ladies pose no challenge in a battle of words. Yet this lovely Elisa can do what they cannot. How fascinating. Interesting. Try to talk to all of our Class 7 members. Ah. Oh, shoot. I did this wrong. We're going to fast forward through this because I'm going to have to reload it anyway. I did this wrong. We're not going to get the points because I did it in this order. Oh, you do get the points. Oh, well. I skipped all the dialogue, so we're going to do it again anyway. Autosaves. Main building, 2 floor. Yes. Right? Yeah. Okay. We're supposed to go to the library first. Right? Library? Yeah, library. Library first. Try this again. Do this in the proper order this time by going to the library first. How amusing would it be if I went to the old schoolhouse again while I was saying to go to the library first? Or would that just be pathetic? Probably just be pathetic, huh? Ah. Oh, I wasn't expecting to see you here, Reen. Heading back to the dorm? Yeah, how about you? Wait, are you by yourself? I thought you were helping Fee study. Well, that was the plan, yes. We arranged to meet here, but she never showed. Really? Huh. Wonder where she could have gone. Yes, I wonder where she is. Man, that's gonna be a tough one finding her. I'm not sure. I'll keep waiting a little while longer, though. I can catch up on my own studying in the meantime. If you happen to run into her, though, would you tell her I'm waiting here? Sure thing. Emma went out of her way to try and cheer me up earlier. Maybe I should see if I can track down Fee for her. There we go. Now we can go track down Fee. Running through the schoolhouse, running through the schoolhouse. Going all the way down to the schoolhouse. Yeah, I still love how the music just completely cuts out for the old schoolhouse. It's pretty cool. Alright, do this again. These. That doesn't even look particularly comfortable. And it puts me in a rather awkward situation. Emma's been waiting for her, so I guess I should probably wake her up. Yawn. Oh, Reen. Hey, Emma's been looking for you, so I figure I'd join the hunt. Aren't you supposed to be studying with her? I suppose so. Okay, later. Wait a second. One more thing. I'm not sure falling asleep at odd spots around campus like this is such a good idea. If you really have to sleep during the day, I think you should at least use one of the infirmary beds. I do, sometimes. Beatrix gives me sweets if she's there. Oh, the nurse? She does seem like a really kind person. But that's beside the point. You're a girl, you know? You need to be more... Never mind that. Can you sense it? Huh? Sense what? This building. It's changed again. A lot. What? Later. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. It's... changed? Dots. It's pretty late. I'll save checking that claim until tomorrow. But, wait. Does that mean Fee's been investigating the old schoolhouse on her own? Yay! 50 points each. Maybe she has been investigating on her own. The doors to the old schoolhouse are locked. But I have the key. Right, so now should be a new book in the library. So back to the library we go to read this new book. I think all of the top storybooks stay. So I think it's this little corner right here where we get new books added. Yes! Erebonian Folklore, Volume 1. Considering the size and history of the Erebonian Empire, it should come as no surprise that it has a wealth of folklore, perhaps more than any other nation on the continent. This is the first in a series of 3 books that will introduce a small number of the legends and traditions in Erebonia. It is my wish that this series will stimulate new interest in the rich story, history, and mythology of this great nation. Animism. The thing that we were just talking about in the previous chapter in the Lenaria Nature Park. Animism is a religious belief native to the land of Erebonia, disconnected from the teachings of the Septian Church. There is no single type of animism. Some animists believe that objects in the natural world have a spirit, while others emphasize the reverence of one's ancestors. The animist traditions of the past continue to live on in a number of ways in Erebonia, with the summer festival being just one. While animism may be disconnected from the doctrine of the Septian Church, it does not specifically refute the Church's teachings. And in many regions, animist traditions have been incorporated into the beliefs of the Septian Church. Many animists have, thus, been converted to worshipping the goddess Aidios while retaining their traditional beliefs. Furthermore, the people of the Nord Highlands, to the northeast of the Empire, revere the wind as a spirit, and share many fundamental aspects of their religious outlook with the people of Erebonia. Fiend, an evil creature that differs from the monsters that we know. Most are said to cause harm to humans, and while they are fundamentally similar to the devils which appear in the teachings of the Septian Church, the existence of neither fiends nor devils has been proven. Fairy. Fairies are inhabitants of another world, separate from both spirits and fiends. Descriptions of them vary among different traditions. Some liken them to young winged girls, while others characterize them as small people. A number of believers also portray them as being represented by small animals. One thing they all have in common, however, is that they enjoy pulling pranks on people. Interesting. And that was the new book. And we also have... what else do we have? Sorry, I'm consulting my handy-dandy guide. Don't want to miss anything. Okay, so we will go speak to Toa. And I believe she's in the student council room. Do you sell battle scopes now? Yes, you do! Yay! Battle scopes! Woohoo! And the second issue of the Imperial Chronicle. Let us instead read that real quick. Politics. The Imperial Provincial Council meets. The Imperial Provincial Council, made up of the 4 great houses and other key nobles, met recently in the Kreutzen Province's Berehard City. Reports suggest that the heads of each of the 4 great houses were in attendance, and that countermeasures against the reformist faction were discussed. Provincial Council representatives' statement. The ones responsible for upholding the nation's traditions and for making this great country what it is today are we nobles. The so-called reformists may think they know how to govern Erebonia, but are they really thinking of the next 200 or 300 years, those who lack self-respect and can only think of practical concerns rather than the heritage and culture of this nation have no business talking about how to run it. International riot in Crossbell? Reports suggest that a riot took place in the Crossbell state to the east. The mob struck in the middle of the night, firing machine guns on the city's streets. It is believed that the riot was orchestrated by a religious cult, and the Crossbell police are continuing to investigate the matter. Fortunately, the IBC, International Bank of Crossbell, was unaffected and resumed normal operations the next day. Those associated with the bank can rest easy. Economy. Chancellor Osborne visits Jurai SEZ. Special Economic Zone, I believe is what that stands for. Recently, Chancellor Osborne paid an unexpected visit to the Western Jurai Special Economic Zone, SEZ, which has continued to show remarkable economic growth in recent years. It is believed that he met with the region's representative to discuss their respective visions for the future. Those present were said to be awestruck by the Chancellor's dynamism and political skill. Incident: Phantom Thief B returns to Erebonia? The infamous criminal, Phantom Thief B, who once sowed chaos across the Erebonian Empire, has returned, if reports are to be believed. Does the elusive outlaw intend to cause yet more trouble here in the Empire? Having been outmaneuvered by him on countless occasions in the past, the Heimdall military police aren't taking any chances and are on increased alert. Publicity: a revolution in fishing gear. The Lake Lord Company has added a new product to its lineup, the Lake Lord Star. This groundbreaking rod was created using a brand new material, making it stronger than ever before. Those interested should contact their local dealer for availability. Anyway, yes. With that, I think we're actually going to end this episode. It is getting somewhat long. Next time we will finish out the few things we have to do tonight before beginning the next day. Just a few people to talk to, and we want to check up on our fellow Class 7 members and see what they are all up to tonight. Anyway, as always, if you like this video, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. If you are compelled to leave any comments, either by the dubious nature of this video or any other interventions that may be going on in your brain, I don't know, something. If you want to leave a comment, go ahead and leave a comment, is what I'm saying.
Right.
And if you want to support the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button, which will allow you to see more content similar to this video. And if you want to stay up to date on all the new videos, including the rest of the videos of this Let's Play series, then make sure you click that bell so you get the notifications when the videos drop. Anyway, once again, thank you for joining me along on this journey, and we will see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.